Hi, and welcome to the To Be Read podcast, where we give honest reviews on viral books that you may see on social media and popular book review websites. This is Chris.
And Carison, and on today's episode, we will be discussing The Johnson 4 by Christina Hammonds Reed. So cozy on in, and let's see if you should add this book to your TBR shelf. Let's just get into it. So here is the synopsis for The Johnson 4. A 1960s boy band determined to conquer the music world must contend with the cost of fame and a ghost with a grisly past in this riveting novel by the New York Times bestselling author of The Black Kids. Odysseus Johnson dreams of musical stardom for his three. Roman, the rebel, more interested in being a teenager than a performer. Rocco, arguably the most talented of the bunch, but different in a way that the world doesn't understand. And Dutiful River, the youngest, who dreams of fame just like his dad. Driving back from another failed audition in Detroit, the Johnson boys come upon the ghost of Christmas Jones III, an illuminate, if lonely, young black orphan who carries the scars of a horrific past as a minstrel sensation. Desperate for family, Christmas begs the Johnsons to bring him home with them. When Odysseus refuses, Christmas stows away in the family Cadillac. Despite their initial horror, Christmas becomes a part of the Johnson family. With the promise of opportunities in California, Odysseus moves the family out west, and the boys' talent starts getting noticed. But just as the brothers are finally on the cusp of fame, Christmas commits a violent act that wreaks havoc on the Johnsons' lives, and the family is torn asunder in the aftermath. Roman flees the country, Rocco is institutionalized, River's solo star rises, and Christmas disappears. Spanning decades, roving the music industry and the ravages of Vietnam to the dark corridors of a mental institution and the very plains of the afterlife, the Johnson 4 is epic in scope, and at its beating heart is the unforgettable story of a family trying to find their way back to one another. So, since the book just recently came out, there is only 108 ratings so far. And it's at 4.17 stars on Goodreads. Chris and I overall rated it as a 3. So,
Yes, so we rated it 3 stars. But both of us have not completed the book.
yeah.
Do you feel like you will?
Probably not, to be honest. Which I'll get into why. This book, first of all, just to let everyone know if you do want to read it, is almost 500 pages. It is a long book. And from some of the ratings and reviews that I have seen so far, the lower ratings are saying that it's too long of a book. Like, there's things that could have been cut out. Which I agree with, even just what I've read so far. I'm a little under halfway through, almost fully halfway. But, Chris, do you want to get into your thoughts first?
So I have to point out, so I listened to this on audiobook, and Kara, you
Same.
did too, right? So I listen at 2 times speed for this book. And
Same.
at 2 times speed, I have 6 hours left in this book.
Okay.
Which means that if you listen at 1 times speed, that's 12 hours left in this book.
Yeah.
At 1 times
It's
speed,
the
this
average.
book listens at 17 hours. So
Yeah.
I did not even make it halfway through this book. I made it to 16. There are 68 chapters. That's a lot. So, like, there's some data on, like, where we kind of stopped. Honestly, I really loved understanding like the dynamic between Rocco and his brothers, and how his brothers were kind of protective of him but not too protective of him. The fact that he was like a special needs autistic kid was really interesting because he's still really talented and very able-bodied. And so I liked them navigating, and like, I mean, Rocco's life was really tough just from like what I've understood, just because he didn't have all those social cues. And so like ghost Christmas aside, I really did enjoy listening about their lives as individuals. There were things that like you would expect to hear from like an African American family, uh, especially in that era, like when was it River who got stuck with those girls in the room, and
Yes.
uh,
The gas station issue.
yes,
When,
and I think that
so the,
they portrayed those like instances that you would expect to have happened very well.
yeah.
I think
She
that
did
the
a
book
great
would have
job
read
portraying
better
that.
without the ghost. Altogether.
I do too.
How do they get out of the gas station situation? Think about it. If one of the boys would have done that, that could have made for a later dynamic where like maybe their producers having to get them out of for some trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. I feel like there was, I don't know. You know how we've talked in previous episodes how one of my icks is when I feel like an author takes the easy way out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's what Christmas was. And I don't know if that's what the intention was, or if he was written in there afterwards because she didn't know how to progress the story from like certain things. And I truly think that the thought here was that this would be new and interesting, and it's supposed to be like a horror type book. Like the genres are historical fiction, horror, historical, music, drama, adult, realistic fiction, family, and literary fiction is what's listed on Goodreads.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously am not far enough in to possibly get to all the horror, but I mean, Christmas died. I'm assuming that they're going to approach How at some point.
Um,
Maybe
you know
how the little girl did also that he became friends with in the woods.
So I don't know exactly why he, how do I say this without it getting flagged? um, so he was executed.
Right.
They
Via rope,
don't explain.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't gotten to why he was.
Yeah.
But you do know that he was.
Right, because they mention, so in this book, I do like that the ghost portrays themselves the way that their bodies looked at time of death.
Yes. Except for the only thing I will say about that is, I don't know if you got to that part. He was like, different chapters are told in different characters' perspectives. So sometimes you'll get it from the mom's perspective, from one of the siblings' perspectives, Christmas's perspective. Christmas was talking for one of his chapters, and he talked about scratching his intestines.
He choked the gas attendant with his intestines.
Yeah, and I was like, oh.
He uses his intestines a lot.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
But like,
I was like really taken aback.
that wasn't very descriptive, and then all of a sudden, like, it's just like, I'm scratching my intestines, and you're just like, hold on, hold up. This family just was just like, yeah, this like fairly rotten looking little boy can join our family?
Yeah, because it doesn't say it in the synopsis, but Christmas is 8 years old when he is killed. So he is a young boy. He's younger than the actual children, the Johnson boys. Which when the book starts out, are they all in high school, or just the older two are in high school and then eventually River gets in high school with them?
Rocco?
How did that? Yeah, are Rocco and Roman in high school? I know Roman's in high
I
school, but
thought
is
Rocco
Rocco?
was the youngest.
No, River's the youngest. Rocco's the middle child.
Oh my god. I did not follow that. Um, River's the
I read it in the
youngest.
synopsis. I even read it in the synopsis, Chris. It said, and Dutiful River, the youngest.
Yeah, I don't know why, but Rocco always felt the youngest to me, and that's probably because like he's the one who's babied the most.
Yeah, which they don't come out and say that he's autistic, but well, I mean, a little bit later on in the book when he gets institutionalized and when he meets with the
River the
therapist.
youngest. Was River the one that got trapped in the room? Or was that
Yes.
Roman?
No, it was River.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it was River. Because he had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, that's extra icky.
Yeah. So basically what happens is they go to California and they are with their manager and he's throwing like a party to oh, it's it's one of the space missions that
Yeah,
happens.
they're going
and,
to the moon.
Yeah, and it's the one where when they're coming back in for landing, the aircraft explodes or lands wrong. And they're going to perform. They were supposed to perform after the moon, the landing, the astronauts land at this party. And he has to go to the bathroom before the landing happens. And the manager who owns the house says, go upstairs to the bathroom upstairs, like first door on the left or something like that. And he mishears which room he's supposed to go to the bathroom, where the bathroom's at, and goes into the manager's daughter's bedroom on accident, and she's there with two of her friends. And they basically block him in the room and tell him he has to show his private area to them or they won't let him leave, and will tell her dad that he was being inappropriate with them.
Yeah, she said, I'll scream for help.
And they are white people. So you can just imagine this time frame. That would be very bad for River. So he has no choice but to show his private areas. And that really affects him throughout a lot of what I have read since then. He becomes very guarded and kind of changes his personality a little bit. I think also, like I mentioned before, it doesn't come out right away saying that Rocco himself is autistic, but you can just tell by his tendencies that he is undiagnosed. So there's that issue. But with River, I don't know how you feel, Chris, and maybe it's later on in the book we find out, but I have a strong feeling that his friendship with Minton, I think that's his name, who is a boy that he meets at school in California, is more than just a friendship.
It definitely
He says he feels a spark when he touches him on like they rub arms or something when they pass
when
each
they
other.
pick lint off of each other's like shirts and
Yes. And he, feels a spark or something like that. He says it feels different than anything he's ever felt before. So it leads the reader to believe that he is gay, which also would be very difficult for a young boy. One, his cards are stacked against him. Young boy in high school. Two, he is black in the 60s. And 3, he'd be gay. That is, I'm sure, happened back then. And even today, that is hard for people to navigate and not be discriminated on. I can only imagine what people back then and River in that situation would feel like. Finding all that stuff out about you would not be easy. On the cusp of also becoming famous. So
Yeah.
he needed a good mentor, and he did not have a good mentor.
No. And like I do appreciate that you get to hear about the dynamic not only with the brothers, but also like between the mother and the father and their relationship with each of the kids as well. And so like that, I think that the author did a pretty good job of doing that. Honestly, I could not.
The ghost thing is just so weird.
I couldn't get into it, honestly. And like the thing is that I didn't even hate Christmas's uh like what he brought to the book necessarily. I didn't hate his character because he's just a little boy, but you can tell that like he knows more than what an 8-year-old would know, but not more than what you would think like a 12-year-old would know. Right?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Like, I guess he's just stuck at that developmental milestone.
Yeah. And maybe as, you get on farther in the book, you'll find out why. But what kept throwing me off is how some people could see him and some people couldn't. And the mom was actually institutionalized when she was young. And one of her friends died. What was that disease? She was in an iron lung. What was that for? Polio?
Yes.
One of the doctor's daughter had polio, and she became friends with her, and she passed away. And she ended up seeing her ghost. So the mom from a young age could see ghosts. And so when she saw Christmas, she's the one who wanted to keep Christmas with the family. The dad did not.
But the dad let him in the car.
No, he stowed away in the car.
Oh, that's right. That's right, because he talks about peeking through the back seat.
Yeah. Anyway, so then they're in their neighborhood, and some kids can see him, and some people can't see him. And
right. Doesn't that also like raise into question that like if some can't and some can, why can this whole family see him?
Yeah. So I started to think, are they all dead? Are they all dead? But then how would that happen? Because the mom saw her friend as a ghost from a young age. So how would I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's because some people in today's age believe in ghosts and seeing ghosts, and it's like the same type of thing. Or people who, you know what it reminded me of? In the Polar Express, how if you believe in Santa, you can hear the bell ringing.
Oh, maybe that is it.
If you don't believe in Santa, you can't hear the bell.
If you believe in ghosts, you can see the ghosts, but then wouldn't there be just ghosts everywhere?
I don't know. Yeah, so confused.
So many questions.
Yeah. But I like the historical fiction aspect of the book. I felt like it is very accurate and a great book to be released during Black History Month. because it talks about the prejudices that they experienced even after segregation became illegal, and how it was then and still is today to deal with that, because it's still happens today, unfortunately. So I really appreciated her bringing awareness to that, which is what, to me, a historical fiction is supposed to do, is bring to light things that happened back then, in a new and inventive way. She definitely was trying to be inventive and different. I don't think it hit the mark for me, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with you there. I don't think that it hit the mark for me either. I really wanted it to, and I remember, so in our last episode, Kara and I, like we always do, went in and determined what we think the book was going to be about based off of the cover. We
You
were
were so
vastly wrong, by the way,
So
in
wrong.
case you were wondering.
Because we thought the ghost was like a past family member.
No,
Nah.
it's just even more bizarre. But
Yeah.
then the thing is that, like, where was I going with this? So after after we did our guess, we log off the podcast and we immediately read what the synopsis is going to be about.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember us looking at each other over Discord and being like, "What did we do?"
It was exactly this line. Driving back from another failed audition in Detroit, the Johnson boys come upon the ghost of Christmas Jones III. And that's where I paused, because the name threw me off.
Right.
Because Christmas himself picked his name, by the way. Everyone. No, it's not his actual given name.
Yeah.
When he was
Which
born.
it makes more sense. An 8-year-old picked his own name.
Yeah. Just it's a... It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Anyways,
so
continue what you were saying.
I was really hoping. So I went to work the next day, and I showed my coworker this book that we decided to read, and showed her the synopsis, and even she was just like, "That's a whole lot." So at this point, I'm like, man, I really hope that this book surprises me. I was really hoping to check off on our bingo board. Unexpectedly liked it.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, that is not the case.
Yeah, but we did check off something from our bingo board.
That is true.
So I'm going to put up on the screen now our 2026 bookish bingo. And this year we are wanting you guys to participate with your own reads as well. If you get a bingo, and we'll talk about how you can prove to us that you get a bingo. Send us a screenshot of your bingo, and then send us a message on our Instagram, and then we will discuss with you how you got your bingo. We'll talk about what books you read to get your bingo, things like that to verify it, and then you can win some TBR bookish merch. Chris makes stickers and bookmarks and things like that, and you never know, you could get something else as well. So we really want this to be viewer participation this year, along with us, because it's always fun to do that and mark stuff off yourself. I'm going to mark things off for me with my reads this year, so you'll see that as well. But do we want to read them real quick?
Sure. I would love
Okay.
to. I would love to share for those who are listeners and don't follow us on Instagram. Okay, so I'll read the first line. So B what would be in the B section is cover makes no sense. Loved the audiobook narrator. First kiss within the first 50%. Read the whole series. And viewer pick.
Okay, so for I, we have 5 chili peppers. So on the spicy scale. Made us cry. Set in a place we want to visit. Unexpectedly liked it. And he growls. You know, because in all romance books, they have that.
And then for N, we have book ends on a cliffhanger. Narrator lies. Our free space. Babe, baby, or baby girl, pet name. Favorite author alert.
G, we have guessed the villain. Reached 250 followers on our Instagram. Third act breakup. We don't think the couple will last. And the author.
And then for O, had to pause mid-read for a breather. A true story. Unique pet name. Reread. And at the beach. Again, you can find our bingo board on our Instagram page. You can save it on your phone, print it off however you prefer to use your bingo so that you can participate along with us. We had viewer on there.
Yeah, the viewer pick.
Viewer pick. FYI, I wanted to point out for that one that on each of our podcasts, we do consider, if you leave a comment, we do consider reading the books that you are suggesting. So if you leave a comment or send us a message, suggest some books, those will all go in a little bit of like a list, and then it might get picked to be read.
Yeah. So with that being said, for this book, we did get one marked off. Well, technically 2 because you get the free space. We didn't get any marked off with our first book in January, which was Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. But we did with the Johnson 4 mark off loved the audiobook narrator because dang, she did so good. There was 6 characters on this book, and she did all of them, and she did amazing because each character had their own different little tone. She did Christmases for her. I feel like she did a great job with Christmas. I didn't even tell at first it was the same person until I was like, oh my gosh, it's the same person.
Yeah, they did. They did really well, and I was surprised that they did a female voice actor, considering that most of the characters in this book are male. But she did such a great job that, I didn't even care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did a great job. Yeah, because there's literally only one female character, and it was the mom. Which I just am now realizing I didn't say why I stopped reading the book.
Oh. Yeah. Let's end with that, and then we can introduce our next book.
Yeah. So the reason I stopped, I don't know if I'm going to pick up, is because a big issue I have in books are when a main character cheats and the mom does that. It's very obvious who she's going to do it to when you're first introduced to the character. It ends up being... is that a spoiler if I say who it is?
No.
Okay. It's Rocco's doctor therapist that he starts going to when he gets to California. My dang cats. Oh my gosh. Anyways, she ends up kissing the doctor. After Rocco is institutionalized, she still meets up with him. He doesn't see adult patients. He still meets up with him to go on walks, ends up kissing him, and then ends up leaving Odysseus. She says it's not because of him, but it is definitely part of the reason that she leaves her husband. And I just have a big problem with cheating and that being a main character thing. Now, if like a main character gets cheated on and it's like they go and meet their, romance and they go and meet the small town cowboy and they fall in love, that's different, okay? Because the guy she's leaving is the jackbutt. The mom being the one who did it really set me off, and I was like, I don't think I can get past this. So that's why I stopped reading it. Anyways.
Yep. I stopped
Would you
reading
recommend
just because I couldn't get into it. And I got to a point to where I have like 3 or 4 other books on my TBR shelf, and I was like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. And it's okay. Would you recommend this to anyone?
Probably not. Honestly, if I have to be completely honest, I'm not going to go to work and be like, you know what, you should totally read this book. I didn't, but you should.
Yeah. I feel like there's other historical fiction books that I would recommend people to read over this one.
I agree.
I feel like if Christmas wasn't a part of this book, I'd 100% recommend it.
I don't know about 100%, but...
Yeah, maybe not 100%. Like 80%. Minus the mom, too, but it's fine.
I think it'd be 50-50 at that point. We'll see. We won't see, actually.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay, so
I think you introduced this one.
Yeah, for our next book, drum roll.
We're actually going to be crossing off, spoiler alert, a reread, because Chris and I really want this year to do something that me and her read, not together, but we both have read when we were younger. And
we went to midnight releases together. So we read it together.
We did. And it was a big deal because I was in middle school and I was so surprised Mom let me go. And Mom actually went with us. And Chris was team
Edward.
And I was team Jacob. So if that tells you anything, we're reading Twilight.
Yes. So for the podcast, it'll be OG Twilight that we'll be reviewing. But just heads up that Kara and I have both read the entire series.
Yes. And
especially since it's making a comeback.
I know. And I got to find my actual books because I have the original covers because the covers since then have been redone and I want my original covers back.
Yeah, I would agree with that actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're at Mom and Dad's house, so I gotta ask her to find those. It's okay. And somehow ship them out to me. Yeah, so obviously we can't do guessing by the cover because, we've read it before, but...
Right.
We're gonna see if our opinions have changed on anything.
Including if we even like the book anymore.
Yeah, you're in middle school and you're just like, it's the new cool hip thing and you don't feel like anything's wrong with it. And then you become an adult and you have real life scenarios and real life, you mature and you're like, those things aren't okay, actually. So we'll see if we feel that towards this book.
I think it's just going to be really cringe for me, honestly. I'm going to be like, I liked this? That's what I'm expecting. But
yeah,
it is nostalgic, so I think that I'll enjoy it regardless. But I am
Yeah,
curious if my opinion's going to change from Team Edward to Team Jacob.
I don't think mine's going to change.
I highly doubt it, honestly.
Remember the necklace that we had? Where, like, one side was the colon crest and the other side was the werewolf tattoo?
Didn't we get that with one of the books?
No, we got it from Walmart.
Oh my God. We were in too deep.
Yeah, we had the cups, guys. This was back when, like, you know, they did it with Wicked, where, like, they had the limited edition cups at the movie theater. But this was, like, midnight premiere. You got the cup, and, like, you could pick between a Bella, Edward, or Jacob cup. And I got a Jacob cup. Chris got an Edward one. Our mom didn't care.
But Zach, he read the books and he got Bella.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, you picked a
So
girl.
it was my brother who actually got me to read these books.
Yeah, I remember Mom was very hesitant. I actually didn't get to go see the midnight premiere of Twilight because Mom wanted to watch it first.
Yeah, but you got to
When
go
it
see the other ones.
Yeah, and when the books were releasing too, because the
This is all
fourth book
stuff we
hadn't
should
come
say for the
out.
next
I know.
podcast.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. All right, we're just gonna end it here and we'll talk about it later, guys. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're just excited, okay?
Yeah, we are excited.
Bringing back childhood. Anyways, thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited about our next book, and it's also going to be another long one, so I'm going to actually have to start reading it before the week before the podcast.
Yeah,
to
agreed.
get through it.
Yes.
Um,
It won't be hard to
But all in all-
remember, so
yeah, it won't. So all in all, 3 stars. Unfortunately, we do not recommend this one. Maybe we'll actually recommend one this year. Because I don't think we recommended the last one either. It's okay. But yeah, make sure to follow us on our Instagram. So if we reach that 250, you get another giveaway. Make sure to participate in our bingo with us this year to win some cool prizes. And also leave a comment here or on our Instagram or message us or something, a book that is coming out or has come out that you really want our opinion on or you think we should read, because we're here for that. So,
all right. Again, thanks for listening.